so you've been privileged today to watch a man make history in American sport.
Oh, little Benny Perrin, number 23, has been a fine football player. As we look again at Bear Bryant, Paul Bear Bryant, great football player at Alabama.
They will run out the clock. As Lewis comes up to take the snap, Auburn has one timeout remaining. Don't know if they'll call it or not.
Keith, it's amazing. Bear Bryant did not become a head coach until he was 32 years old because of World War II, his time in service.
The game is over. The man has made history. 315 wins. This is a basic credo of Paul Bryant. If you believe in yourself and have dedication and pride and never quit, you'll be a winner. The price of victory is high, but so are the rewards. He didn't have anybody deep, and then when Williams arrived, he had to let it go.
It shows again that the offense going up and down the field, unless you put it in the goal line, doesn't mean all that much. Alabama controlled the offensive ball, made close to 500 yards total offense, and still is going to get beat by a team that's just over 200 yards.
Two big plays. The fumble snatched out of the air and returned for 62 yards, and the interception, the two interceptions, actually by James. No, not James. The safety man for Auburn.
Bob Harris.
Bob Harris. Well, they'll count it down. It's a happy day for the Auburn Tigers and their partisans. They come storming out onto the field. There's 5 seconds remaining to play in the ball game. They're trying to tear down the goalpost. I don't know if they can ever restore order after this. They're probably just as well now to let things run off and time expire.
3 teams have beaten Alabama this year: Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn, that haven't beaten them in over a decade.
Well, everything in life is cyclical, and the cycle means around, and you can't avoid it. Sooner or later, you're going to have a few down times, and he's had few. And they're going to let the clock run off now, and the game is over. Paul Bryant walks off, losing for the first time since 1972 to Auburn. As Pat Dye's youngsters rose up when the occasion offered them, when the opportunity was in front of them, and they stuck it in the end zone. And the final score, Auburn 23, Alabama 22.
Pat James told me this morning, he said, Frank, Pat Dye told me this morning, all we've done is just churn, and the cream has come to the top this year. Outstanding leadership in this second half, Keith. They asserted themselves much better than they did in the first half of this ball game.
And they have just won their second successive victory over the Crimson Tide of Alabama. They won a year ago, 23-20. They win in 1983 by a score of 23-20, and it is the first Southeastern Conference championship for the Auburn Tigers since 1957.
McGinty, who reached the heights against Mississippi State a month ago with a game-ending field goal. We got another penalty, and that has stopped the clock with 6 seconds against Alabama. And McGinty reaching the depths today with a chance to win the game and hooking it. Ray Perkins, in what has been, on balance, a pretty dismal year, especially with a team as tradition-rich as Alabama, will at least close it with a dramatic victory. And one to be discussed and discussed over and over and over for a long time in the state of Alabama. The Crimson Tide has won it. Alabama finishes 5-6. Auburn goes 8 4. They'll play Arkansas in the Liberty Bowl. LSU, Nebraska to the Sugar Bowl.
And 6 seconds to play in the ball game. And here comes Van Tippen. With 6 seconds, he's in the game.
My heart won't stand it.
He missed a 52-yarder earlier, wide left with the wind. This is 52 yards into the breeze. Not strong, but there's some. The kick is up.
Long enough.
It's long enough, and it's good. He made it. It's hard to keep your composure in a time like this when you're in the middle of the melee on the sidelines. But the defensive people were called to the sidelines by Pat Dye. The offensive people called to their sidelines by Ray Perkins. They have now made their decision on what they'll try to do on the last play of the game.
I'll tell you what they're going to do. It's too far for a field goal. Another pass, if it doesn't score, time will run out. So they're going to go for the home run ball, just throw it down deep, hope for the deflection. At least that's what I do.
I don't know what else you can do. Arthur Johnson is playing center field along with Carlo Cheatham, so there are two of them way back down on the 15-yard line. Mike Shula gets it away, and it's in the crowd, and it is batted down. And Auburn has won the ball game, beating Alabama 21-17. And the Tigers finished their season at 9-2. Alabama finishes their regular season at 9-3. Alabama having played last August in the Football Foundation Hall of Fame game up in Meadowlands. So the Tigers of Auburn win it by 4.
So now the clock ticks away. The Auburn band plays. The Alabama band on the far side is silent. Berger puts his knee down, and that'll do it. 7-4 for Alabama, 9-1-1 for Auburn.
The Tigers start to celebrate. Should do it. Pat Dye, the SEC Coach of the Year. His Tigers have won 2 titles the last 5 years. He'll get another one here today. His overall record, 125, 45, and 3. In his 8th year at Auburn. The Auburn Tigers will share the lead in the SEC, the championship with LSU. They're going to the Sugar Bowl. The final score, Auburn 15, Alabama 10.
But they have a right to celebrate.
Heisman Trophy Award coming up next. Bill Curry comes in with 10 wins, no losses, but still now walks away with his first loss of the year and has not beaten Auburn. The Auburn Tigers have done it. They've waited for this series to one day come to their home soil. They win it 30-20.
This turnover for Auburn. 4 seconds still on the clock. The frustration for Alabama is over.
Auburn's going to get one play on that 4th down play. What Alabama was trying to do is just pitch the ball to Strand Stacy, let him run for a while, but Auburn made the tackle. Stan White's going to get a chance to hang one up here. Change of possession. Alabama in the prevent defense, and you see it, they have everybody back. 3-man rush and everybody else guarding the goal line.
They're back 50 and 55 yards. White delivers it. It is tipped and incomplete. And the Alabama Crimson Tide have defeated the Auburn Tigers. And Mike, my question to you is this the last football game that Pat Dye will be the head coach for the Auburn Tigers?
Well, we talked about earlier the tapes and how I think it's been poorly handled and poorly mismanaged by the local attorney here in the way he has continued to slowly hand out tapes during the year. I think there's a lot of questions to be asked, and only time will tell.
Once again, the final score, Alabama 13, Auburn 6. Stay tuned for the Residents in College Football Score.
So on 4th down, Bama with a first down, penalty flags flying. Brent, there's a lot of talk who's #1 in the country.
Illegal participation, defensive team, 12 men on the field. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, first down.
I'm not sure who the #1 team is, but I know the #1 team.
Hey, get some room here. Come on, give me some room. I believe you got the best team in the country. I believe that. Hey, you're doing it right.
Go, Mark.
21 seconds to go. All Auburn has to do is snap the football as we go down to Quentin Riggins.
And what an unbelievable job of coverage on the last 2 attempts Brian Bergdorf going deep down the left sideline both plays against Calvin Jackson. Calvin Jackson almost intercepts one, and then he knocks the other one to Todrick Malone away. He is a great cover man for Auburn.
Nix taking the snap and falling to the ground, and this one's over, folks. Clock is running down. The final seconds. Let's let the crowd count them down for us.
The joy on the Alabama side, and there was the disbelief and despair on the Auburn side. 31 seconds remaining. Unsportsmanlike conduct call, and it's going the other way. Frustration prompted that. It must have been close. It looked like it couldn't have been more than an inch.
It's been 21 games since Terry Bowden tasted defeat.
He'll wear it well. Patrick Nix is apologizing because it was Patrick that jumped up and challenged the call and got the flag. Now Alabama has to kill 31 seconds on the clock. And if Alabama wins this ball game, it'll be the 44th win for the senior class. Sam Shade had the leverage, number 31, and simply would not let him inside the 40-yard line. And Johnson had the tackle. Shade had the leverage to push him back, and that was the difference of an inch. And now you know why they play these kind of games. I'm going to sit down.
2 seconds still on the stadium clock. This game is not over. Auburn is going to be penalized, I would feel sure, for excessive celebration here as the coach is trying to get everybody off the field. Terry pointed up at the clock saying we still got 2 seconds left. Score, Auburn 31, Alabama 27 from Mike Godfrey and Mike Adamle. And our entire ESPN crew, Ron Franklin, saying so long from Auburn to Alabama. Right now, let's join Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson in Colorado Springs.
Secondary has dropped off with 2 seconds left. The line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line. They've dropped all the way back to the 10 and 15-yard line. Looks like a kickoff return. Damian Craig, everything he's got. And it is knocked away by Alabama.
Is this it for you, Coach? He's out of here, Jay.
So, Gene Stallings heads to the locker room. Almost an improbable finish, Mike, the way they had stuttered and stammered on offense. You can look at the Auburn faithful as this young man right here. They can't believe it because they had closed the door on this Alabama football team offensively, but the last gasp was good enough.
Ron, I guess that's what makes this rivalry one of the best. The great effort that was given by both these teams tonight. They laid it all out in this football field, both these teams.
Again, we repeat the question. We're going to try to ask Gene, but he was too excited to get onto the locker room. Is it his final game to coach the regular season here at the University of Alabama? We'll find out, I'm sure, in the next few days. Once again, our final score, Alabama 24, Auburn 23. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now let's join Mike Tirico. And is going off the field under his own power. And the brain trust for Alabama looking up at 6 seconds in the ballgame.
You got three choices. One, kick a field goal. We know they're not going to do that. Two, you throw the ball deep down the field and hope you get some kind of pass interference or get it in the end zone. Three, throw a quick out, try to set up the field goal.
One of the things on Thursday when Auburn worked on late desperation Hail Mary passes was all the defensive coaches saying, whatever you do, don't tip the ball, don't try to intercept it, knock it to the ground.
They're going to try the field goal. His first career field goal attempt. I can't think of a tougher place and a tougher time.
A 57-yard attempt for the Alabama win. A.J. Diaz. Good pass. Ball is down. Does he have the distance? No. It is in the end zone. Short. And the Auburn Tigers have come from behind to win. Buckets of water. Somebody's going to drown in that one. Celebration has started here at Legion Field for this gentleman. Will this be his last? Many suggest that it will be as the interim head coach, and he has suggested that if he is not moved up as the permanent head coach, that he would in fact think of retirement. John David Phillips will come in to take what should be the last snap of the ball game. Delay of game is the call. Antoine Nolan on the sideline.
And Ron, Andrews out just to close out his night. He started slow, but he gained momentum and hit some big passes in this ball game.
That should do it. 10 seconds, down to 9, and the crowd will count it off for you.
Callaway, the offensive line coach, his offensive line took over in the second half.
I think he got more of the liquid.
Yeah, he really did. He was in the wrong spot at the wrong time
than Mike DeBose did. He'll probably say, hey, this is designed for the head coach, not the offensive coordinator. They'll take a knee. Clock goes down to 44, 43. The officials very quickly getting in between the two teams. Well, it's been too hard fought and too well played to have an incident mar it right now.
Ron, Alabama's going to name an AD this next week.
I think that announcement's going to come on Tuesday.
Come on Tuesday, and then things will settle down a little bit at the university.
13 seconds down to 12, and this one is about to go in the record books as Tommy Tuberville heads across the field to shake hands with Mike DeVoe. And the final Iron Bowl of 1999 is history. Final score, Alabama 28 and Auburn 17. Coming up next, Residence Inn College Game Night, followed by Sports Center. For Mike Gottfried and Adrian Karsten, I'm Ron Franklin. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Once again, our final score, Alabama 28, Auburn 17. Once again, here's Brian Kenny.
Second down snap for Leard with 29 seconds to go. He's got it. He genuflects. Hey, that'll do it. We're going to get out of here with a victory, Charlie. Break out the cigars. Auburn has defeated Alabama. We've still got 17 seconds to play, but there are handshakes all around. The celebration has begun. We're down to 8 seconds at Tuscaloosa. Auburn's going to win this game. Auburn's going to win the SEC title in the West Division. The Tigers have defeated Alabama 9-0. See you later, Bama. I'm headed to Toomer's Corner. War Eagle, everybody.
The emotions from one side to the other. It's amazing. And remember, this really game is the game. This is the Super Bowl, as Dennis Franchione told us, the Super Bowl of Alabama. Bragging rights, 365 days out of the year. Inside the 50 to the 49, and the final seconds will click down. Alabama has done it. They've beaten Auburn on their home field. Tommy Tuberville, Dennis Franchione. I have a feeling, Andre, these two will meet many times.
You're absolutely right. This won't be, it'll be a ton of meetings and a ton of battles before this one's all over.
Alabama wins 31-7.
It's the Tigers. And Auburn may have to snap the ball one more time, maybe, depending on when the play clock is started. But Auburn's going to come to Tuscaloosa and remain unbeaten. And for the fourth year in a row, the visiting team will walk away the winner. Campbell takes a knee, and the ball game is over. The Auburn Tigers, a 10-point underdog, come into Tuscaloosa and win by 10, 17-7. Impressive. Auburn does it without its starting tailback, without its starting fullback. And the Tigers are victorious in Tuscaloosa. 84,818. Watch Dennis Franchione and Tommy Tuberville meet at midfield. Tommy Tuberville picking up his second win in his career against Alabama, the first coming here 2 years ago. A 9-0 win that day, 17-7, as Auburn did all it needed to do offensively.
You know, that chant will go on into the night. It's great to be an Auburn Tiger. He'll take a knee, and that'll do it. That'll be the final play of this year's Iron Bowl. Tuberville and Shula meeting at midfield. Tuberville literally running toward the locker room. Now, I'm not sure how far he can go. Adrian Karsten, you're with Coach Tuberville.
Coach, describe the level of effort and emotion that went into this win.
This is a fans' game. The players played their hearts out for them. I know they appreciate it. It's been a long week for all of us, but I'm proud for the Auburn family and everybody here at Auburn. This is a big game, and we're 3-4 against Alabama.
You meet with school administrators tomorrow. Do you think your job is still in jeopardy?
I don't care right now. We beat Alabama. Thank you.
Ron? All righty, so the final score is Auburn 28 and Alabama 23. Coming up next on ESPN at SportsCenter, over on ESPN News, it's the press conferences. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Now for Mike Godfrey, to Adrian Karsten, and our entire crew, I'm Ron Franklin. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. The celebration beginning, and it'll go on into the night. Good night, everybody.
You might get Tommy to join him in a little two-step down there.
4th and 21. Jason Campbell will run out the clock. The Auburn Tigers go to 11-0 in the 2004 season. They will play in the SEC championship game against Tennessee. The dream is still alive. The potential birth in a national championship game and the possibility of a national championship. And a little mess at the middle of the field.
Now, Terry Jones Jr., one of the strength coaches, is out there in the middle of it, trying to keep the teams away from each other. They got it under control.
Yep.
Well, Tommy Tuberville, just to conclude the story, we were chatting with Tommy yesterday. He said, you know, it was 2 years ago, Thursday night, that the plane took off and flew to Louisville. Aboard the plane, Dr. William Walker, then the president of Auburn University. A couple of trustees, the athletic director. The plane was owned by Bobby Lauder. They went to try and ask Bobby Petrino if he would come here and replace Tommy Tuberville. That obviously did not happen, and Tommy Tuberville is getting another shower as the Auburn Tigers defeat Alabama for the 4th consecutive year. Brody Croyle's final game in the SEC. The Auburn Tigers go to 9-2. Alabama's 9-2. For Tracy Wolfson, Todd Blackledge,
And so the long year continues. Years. And there's the fear the thumb. Delay of game.
Auburn. Well, we talked about Mike Shula in the beginning of this football game. And now it comes back. Lost 4 in a row. Major disappointment. This might be the worst schedule that Alabama's ever had. I mean, this is a schedule they should have won. I think he's officially on the clock next year.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure. I don't want to put any significance on this, but Mal Moore, the athletic director, occupies the booth next to us in the press box, and they left early. The disappointment for the entire athletic department at Alabama is overwhelming, and the thumbs are up for the Auburn Tigers. Tommy Tuberville is among the least shy coaches I know. Sure. He will say what's on his mind. And there's the meeting of Shula and Tuberville and the meeting of the thumbs.
Tommy Tuberville, who has won 5 in a row, he is now on the verge of winning 6 straight. Auburn has never beaten Alabama 6 straight years. Now, he upset everybody last year when he flashed the 5 sign to the Auburn crowd. What will he do winning number 6? Going to have to use the thumb.
Well, that's what the fans are all doing. We even saw the gal in Iraq doing that. The 5 fingers and the 1 thumb. I don't know whether Tommy Tuberville will do it or not.
What are they going to do, Holly?
Well, they've been trying to coach him up in the PR department not to do it, not to give him that photograph moment for all Alabama fans to hate all year. But I can tell you, I saw them today in the book orders are already printed.
This guy has done a magnificent job at this school. Can't say enough about Tommy Tuberville.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, I think that if you're Jay Jacobs and if you're the administration at Auburn, you do whatever you need to do to keep Tommy Tuberville here, because he's got a good thing going here. He's a good recruiter. They've got talent, and they're one of the best teams in the SEC over the last 5 years.
And it would take him about 5 seconds to find another job. Auburn has done it. Brandon Cox becomes the second Auburn quarterback ever to win 3 straight as a starter against arch-rival Alabama, and they have won 6 in a row against the Crimson Tide for the first time ever. Here's Holland.
Now Moore set his sights on Nick Saban. Sometime soon, Mel Moore is going to write a book, and he will reveal the entire story of how he got Nick Saban to agree to become the coach at Alabama. We've heard portions. It's quite a story.
I know one thing, there's a checkbook somewhere in there.
One shot at the end zone to try to upset number 2 Alabama.
Well, I don't think this is what Coach Chizik was hoping for when he said he wanted to have a plan to win at the end of the game. I don't think he planned on winning by a Hail Mary, but you know what? They've got a shot. Got to be solid up front. And Coach Chizik knows it's happened before. It's happened before. You remember, you can come up with all kinds of examples. Doug Flutie to Brian Brennan. Many years ago. We'll see what happens.
3 lined up, bottom of your screen. Going for the home run ball. Todd goes deep. Jump ball! Incomplete, and Alabama stays undefeated. Alabama's first win at Auburn since 2001, and a jump ball, and look at that. That's like a volleyball kill.
Yeah. You know, not to put any blame at all on that last play, because you don't know what's going to happen. I would have liked Chris Todd to give his receivers a little more time to get up the field. Didn't happen.
Considering everything that's going on around this program, Vern, can you really believe the focus this guy's had? How sweet it is.
Extraordinary. Again, allegations are still out there. No further developments on his personal story nor that of his father. And in the face of all of the turmoil, he leads his team from 24 down to a 28-27 victory in the Iron Bowl. Newton, 13 of 20 for 216. He wound up 22 rushes, 39 yards, and a touchdown.
They shut out this Auburn offense, and tell you what, you watch them play, you might argue whether they should play in the BCS championship game. I think they will, personally. You can't argue how great of a football team is. It's obvious watching them play. Good as the offense was, that one play typified the dominance of the Alabama defense all game.
Richardson, 203 yards. Gets a hug from Ontario McKay. That's what Saban's arguing.
I know, we're trying to let the clock run out. And so because of the knee taken on 4th down, the clock by rule stops and the change of possession happens. Here's the ultimate anticlimactic play. Unless
he gets 2 yards.
Unless he needed.
Exactly.
You know what?
That's exactly what Auburn did. Got him 1,000 yards.
Trey Mason winds up with 83 yards, and he goes over 1,000 for the year. Chizik, Saban at midfield. Mandel will hold it. Now they've officially made it 57 yards.
Remember, a blocked kick can go the other way, too. You got to be careful and get it up.
On the way. No, returned by Chris Davis. Davis goes left. Davis gets a block. Davis has another block. Chris Davis. No flags. Touchdown. Auburn. An answered prayer.
For an entire year, Alabama and its fans have suffered because of a kick six. In 18 seconds, that memory has been erased. Alabama wins the highest scoring Iron Bowl in history. Alabama now heads to the SEC championship game where they will take on Missouri next Saturday afternoon. Blake Sims up saluting the Alabama fans.
Just thinking about that sequence back there when we had Ford with the hit out of bounds and Will Muschamp and those important 15 yards that actually got Alabama into field goal position. Those were big 3 points. I mean, just a lot happened in that fourth quarter.
Johnson, lateral play. And O.J. Howard, one of the seniors.
Remember, he came back. He could have gone in the draft. Jonathan Allen could have gone in the draft. They came back for this season to put another championship higher.
10 seconds. Hurts does not get Hurts. Alabama wins the 81st Iron Bowl by a convincing 30-12 count. It was 10-9 at one point. 13-9 at the break.
And Gus Malzahn, a fist to the crowd.
And a little bit of a shower.
And let's remember all the rumors going around about Gus Malzahn. Will he go home to Arkansas? What do you do now?
Going to be the last play, barring a penalty. The throw completed. Might end up being a touchdown. Not going to get there. Cam Sims has the clocks hit 0. And a double shower for Gus Malzahn. And they're coming out of the stands at Jordan-Hare. His second win against Alabama in his stay here on the Plains, and it's a huge one. Winner take all to win the West and have a date with the Dogs. They've got it.